our next guest, former Speaker of the House of Representatives, pretty legendary in terms of American politics and the country. And Newt Gingrich has a brand new book out that I just ordered on Amazon, should be arriving today, in fact, Trump's Triumph, America's Greatest Comeback. Let's welcome back to the show Speaker Newt Gingrich. Mr. Speaker, what is this? How many books is this now for you? What number is this one?
Well, it's either 44 or 45. I'm not sure.
That's insane. That's absolutely insane. You're not old enough to write 45 books.
Well, today is my 82nd birthday.
So, wow.
Do a book a year until you get there.
Yeah, tell me about it. Well, you got about 20 more left. Happy birthday, Mr. Speaker. Welcome back to the show. We've missed you, and it's good to see your face and have you on the show because. Boy, this is a tough crossroads. I just took a glimpse at my social media page on X, for example, and somebody wrote, "The war pigs are all squealing with bloodlust. It's all disgusting." We've got this battle, sort of, it seems, between the Tucker Carlson faction of our American political right, if you will, the Mark Levin faction saying we got to be all in for Israel, we got to stand with Israel. Let me get the wisdom of Newt Gingrich on what role the United States should be playing with regards to this war between Israel and Iran.
You know, Trotsky, the Soviet leader, said at one point, "You may not be interested in war, but war is interested in you." Look, I'd love to live in a world where you didn't have the Iranians trying to get nuclear weapons while chanting death to America and death to Israel. I'd love to live in a world where you didn't have Hamas chanting that they want to kill every single Jew and have not a single Jew left in Israel. I'd love to live in a world where Putin was a reasonable member of the local Rotary Club and you didn't have a Russian effort to destroy Ukraine. That'd be a great world. Unfortunately, it's not the world we live in. And I think what President Trump is trying to do is navigate through very old hostilities, very old threats, and get to a condition to actually create real peace. And it's an enormous challenge. And I would say to my friends who believe that you can hide from all this, Franklin Roosevelt once said, if you stand next to a rattlesnake, you don't have to let him bite you 5 or 6 times to figure out that he's dangerous. And Churchill would have warned us that people who want to feed the crocodile don't realize the crocodile gets really big and then it eats them. So I'm not a war hawk. My dad served 26 years in the Army. I wish we could be in a world where we had no violence. But on the other hand, I think when you have enemies who are committed to your destruction, and when people chant death to America, as a historian, I take them seriously. I think they mean death to America.
They certainly do, and they're committed to the destruction of Israel, but they're also committed to our destruction as well. Somebody pointed out to me, if you make the comparison or you look at the analogy between the battle between Ukraine and Russia and now Israel and Iran, look, let's be honest here, in the showdown between Ukraine and Russia, neither one of those sides is calling for the destruction and the annihilation of the state of Israel or the United States of America. These are very different conflicts, very different wars, and very different situations. But I feel that a lot of people sort of just oversimplify it and say, look, we don't want to be involved in a war against Russia, and we shouldn't be involved in a war against Iran. It's not that simple, is it?
Well, look, I mean, it's pretty understandable, though. You live a normal life. You take your kids to soccer or baseball. Why can't things be peaceful? And unfortunately, there are moments in time when they can't be. I just did a newsletter at Gingrich 360 pointing out, that the chant about America being the great Satan starts in 1978. The chant about death to America starts in 1979. The occupation illegally of our embassy, keeping 52 American diplomats hostage for 444 days, is in 1979. The killing of the Marines by Iranian proxies. In 1983, 251 Marines are killed. You go back year after year after year, and now we came to a point where I believe the Israelis concluded that Iran was very close to getting a nuclear weapon, and that imagine the missiles you're seeing hitting Tel Aviv that had nuclear warheads. And you can understand why, from the Israeli standpoint, totally wiping out the Iranian nuclear program is literally a matter of life and death. And frankly, I much prefer to break the regime. I think our goal should be to drive the mullahs out of power and to allow the Iranian people to govern themselves.
Incidentally, I encourage everybody to subscribe to Newt's newsletter, Gingrich360.com. It's Gingrich360.com. You'll be a little bit smarter every time you read it. Newt, this is the 10-year anniversary of the time that President Trump came down that golden escalator and announced he was going to run for president. We played a clip earlier of the Jon Stewarts and the Rachel Maddows of the world, who 10 years ago were just laughing and mocking and, oh, he's a vain billionaire. This is a vanity project. And of course, I don't think they're quite laughing to the same degree as they were 10 years ago. I can't wait to read Trump's Triumph, America's Greatest Comeback. Look, you're a student of history. You're a student of politics. There has never been the political story of Donald Trump, and particularly the biggest comeback in American history. Is there anybody who even comes close by comparison?
No, I think, look, the two greatest American presidents are George Washington, who created the country, and Abraham Lincoln, who carried us through a civil war. But at the rate Trump is going, I fully believe that Trump will probably be the third most important president in American history. What he's doing is so consequential, whether passing a big, beautiful bill, which will dramatically improve our economy, make things more affordable, provide for a first step towards balancing the budget, or it is navigating international relations, or controlling the border. I mean, you look again and again, and Trump is making a difference. And I think, and the whole point of my book, which is both Trump's Triumph and America's Greatest Comeback, is that in a sense, the MAGA movement met the man. And it was a combination of the two. It's the American people who really, really wanted change, and it's President Trump who is capable of mobilizing them, arousing them, and then leading the change.
There's been nothing like it. And I don't know that people fully realize in the moment here, we got all this coming at us from all different directions. But you stop and think about everything that this guy has got on his plate right now. And yet you watch him, and people I know have spent time with him, and I've gotten to interview him and spend time with him. He acts like he doesn't really have a care in the world. He has a resolve to work for this country and work for the American people. But this is not somebody, the old adage about presidents age, it looks like he's aging in reverse.
Well, I mean, first of all, I think he enjoys himself. I think he believes that he's on a mission. I talked with Speaker Mike Johnson, who was with President Trump at Mar-a-Lago when the Secret Service came to brief him on the second would-be assassin who they'd found on the golf course. And Mike told me that it really shook Trump. The first one he sort of wrote off as a nutcake. But if you have two assassination attempts, you realize something real's going on. And the two of them went off to a room and prayed for about an hour. And I think that if you read, for example, his inaugural address, he talks about the notion that God spared his life to help America become great again. And I think in that sense, this is a much more deeply committed person than the guy who came down the escalator. This is somebody who carries the weight of what he's doing. But at the same time, Trump likes them. He likes life. He enjoys himself. He loved being in the McDonald's passing out French fries. He loved being in the garbage truck. Every time I see him or talk to him, I get the sense this is a guy who's doing okay. The pressures don't get to him. They're just part of the job. They're not about his personality.
Well, we're lucky to have him. We're lucky to have you, especially on your birthday. I hope Callista has big plans for you. I hope you go to the fanciest dinner in town tonight. Please give her my best and tell her I promise no Krispy Kremes next time I see you. We're going to stay healthy. And I hope everybody gets the book, Trump's Triumph. Congratulations on book number 45. Not very many people can make that claim. Mr. Speaker, it's great seeing you. Great hearing your voice. Keep fighting the good fight. And happy birthday, Newt. Take care.
Thanks.
We'll see you. Newt Gingrich joining us on the Mike Gallagher Show on his birthday, of all things, which is great to hear. Trump's Triumph, America's Greatest Comeback, available where books are sold. And